Hi, welcome to Banjo Diaries entry number 12. Tonight is November 28th. This has been a challenging month for me. I got it in my head that I wanted to learn country roads. It is the hardest thing I've ever done. I found Mr. Panky has a version that I love, and I wanted to learn that version. So I got the tab for it. I listened, I'm not exaggerating, I listened to his recording of it probably 200 times this month. Just the last like 2 minutes of his recording where he plays through, like after I learned the piece where he just plays through it just to get it in my head. The reason it was really tricky this month was it's the first piece I've done where there are like transitions. So in this song, it starts with the chorus and then it goes to the verse. And then it goes to a high break verse, and then it goes to the bridge, and then it finishes with the chorus again. And so, first of all, just the mental map of the song and all the different sections that you need to be in, you know, it takes a little bit of thinking and memorizing. And then the transitions going from one section to the next, because, you know, I learned them section by section. I started with the chorus, got the chorus down, then I jumped to the high break, got that down, then I did the verse, and then the last thing I did was the bridge, because that was the least familiar to me, and so I kind of put it off. And then, so putting all those puzzle pieces together and creating a song in the flow, with the flow that it's supposed to have, was challenging, and going from independent section to the next section was challenging. It was also challenging because I bought the tab, and the tab said at the top, Mr. Panky actually typed basically like, this tab is not exactly like the video, refer to the video, you know. And so I was like, okay, so I've got this tab, I was trying to make sense of it. And then I would watch the video and he just did all kinds of things different, which he admitted in the tab. And so then I was really torn with, well, what should I do? Should I just stick to the tab strictly, or should I try to figure out the video? So I would like watch it on YouTube and I'd slow it down to like 50% speed to try to really figure out what he was doing. And I couldn't always figure out what he was doing because he's a way more advanced player than I am. And so I would hear things and they sound really cool, and I had no idea how to get that, what kind of a picking pattern it was. It wasn't written on the tab. But I also kind of decided that the tab was a little bit less full than I wanted. After listening to his recorded version so many times, I was like, no, I want that sound more than the tab sound. So I ended up with this like weird hybrid that's part tab and part Mr. Panky's recording and part just what I figured out how to do on my own. And that's where we are. So anyway, it's definitely his version, but it is, this is so squeaky, I'm sorry. It is, it's a weird version. And I've actually played it along his recording with YouTube. I was working on my speed and trying to get up to speed, and I played it along with him, and it worked really well to play the chorus and the first verse. And then the high break and the bridge, mine are so different from his that it kind of threw me to play with him. It would I would get confused on what I was supposed to be doing. So I don't know. So anyway, it was really challenging. And then I was trying to get it up to speed. It's not that fast of a song. Mr. Panky was playing it at I set my metronome to 95, in that range. And I could do it, I could hang at that, but to get it precise and as clean as I wanted it, I think in this recording today, I'm playing it more 85 to 90, so slower than ideal. So anyway, it was a challenging month. It was a lot of fun, and I was very determined. Once I decided to do this piece, I was like, I'm doing this piece. Even though I kind of started thinking it's a little over my head. It doesn't use a ton of new techniques. There's definitely one chord that I had to get used to because it's all over the place. I should be able to name the chord, but I can't, but it's this chord. And having to hammer it down with my ring finger, which you'll hear when I play it. My ring finger does not always hammer audibly, you'll see it move, but I don't hear the sound. So I need to work on strengthening that up and getting cleaner with that. So anyway, and then just the pick patterns, the roll patterns, my right hand patterns, they're just all over the place. I mean, there's just a little of everything I've ever learned in this. And so just keeping track of it and remembering where I am and all of that. The other thing that I want to be able to do eventually, especially with something like this where there's a melody that you're trying to bring out within all of the rolls, is I want to like work a little bit more on dynamic changes, which right now, I mean, it's a loud instrument, and right now I'm just like thrilled if I pick the right string and have my hand in the right place. I'm like, I did it. So I am not playing like a lot of musicality yet, and I want to try to work on that. And this would be a good piece to do that for, because it's such a recognizable melody that I should be able to pick the melody out stronger than the rolling backup arpeggio stuff happening. So anyway, so that's where we are. I mean, it was fun this month. I've worked more on the banjo this month in a month time span than any other month this year. I have spent hours and hours and hours. In fact, just trying to get the recording that is going to be at the end of this, I probably have spent, I would say all told, about 5 hours trying to just play the piece all the way through to a point that I'm happy enough with it. And I actually was having a conversation with Mr. Pankey about this whole perfectionism concept. And I've said all year long that it's something I struggle with, that I've always struggled with on cello in particular. And so, you know, it's really problematic when you're doing an instrument that you're not that good at, and yet you're holding yourself to this really unrealistic standard. So I would try to record this piece, and I would literally, I'd be like, chorus, great, verse, great, hybrid, great. Then I get to the bridge and I make a little flub up, and that would be it. I'd start over again. And I mean, this happened like dozens of times. And so just getting to the point where, and honestly, on some of those days, when that was happening, I mean, I wanted to throw the banjo out the window. Like, I was so annoyed because I had been doing it for so long, and like, why is it not coming out the way I want it to? And we were just talking about like how that just robs you of the joy of playing. And when you hold yourself to that standard, you're not going to enjoy what you're doing, because every little thing is going to take away from you just being satisfied with the progress you're making. So just kind of trying to keep track of the fact that this is a journey. And when I watch what I play today, compared to what I could do in January, and just recognizing like I've learned a lot, I'm still learning a lot. You know, I'm on a path, and I'm just going to keep going on it. So we're getting toward the end of the year. My original plan was to do just 1 year's worth of these diaries, which means next month will be the last one. We'll see. Obviously it's a busy month in December, and I actually have a bunch of other musical things that are not banjo related on my plate. Some gigs and things for cello. So I'm going to try to learn one more song in December and get it done by the end of the month. But I have a goal that I want to do that'll take me into the first of the year. So probably there'll be at least one more past December of these bad boys before I'm done with that. So that's where we are. Thank you for listening, and I will put the song at the end of this. And I guess I'm proud of it in the end. I'm proud of the progress I made, and I will try to not focus on the imperfections. All right, I'll see you next month. Bye.